Christ is in our midst. Welcome to Spiritual Calisthenics. Today, on April 3rd, we commemorate the memories of St. Nicetas, Abbot of the Monastery of Medicium, Joseph the Hymnographer, and Theodosia, and Irene the Martyrs. Regarding St. Nicetas the Confessor, St. Nicetas lived in the 8th century and became the abbot of the Monastery of Medicium, which was near the city of Trigia on the Sea of Marmara. For his Orthodox confession of the veneration of the holy icons, he was persecuted and exiled twice by the iconoclast emperor Leo the Armenian, but recalled by Michael the Stutterer, and reposed adorned with a twofold crown of holiness and of confession of the Orthodox faith about the year 824. You are a guide of orthodoxy, a teacher of piety and modesty, a luminary of the world, the God-inspired pride of monastics, O wise Nicetas. You have enlightened everyone by your teachings. You are the harp of the Spirit. Intercede to Christ our God for the salvation of our souls. Regarding St. Joseph the Hymnographer, St. Joseph was from Sicily, the son of Plautius and Agatha. Because Sicily had been subjugated by the Muslims, he departed thence, and passing from place to place, came with St. Gregory of Decapolis to Constantinople, where he endured bitter afflictions because of his pious zeal. Traveling to Rome, he was captured by Arab pirates and taken to Crete, whence he later returned to Constantinople. He became an excellent hymnographer and reposed in holiness shortly after 886. The melismatic canons of the Manaean are primarily the work of this Joseph. They bear his name in the acrostic of the 9th Ode. He also composed most of the sacred book known as the Paracletiki, which complements the Theodosia. For this reason, Joseph is called par excellence the hymnographer. So, just so that you're understanding, the Theodosia is the 8 odes, the 8 tones. And so there are model hymns for every day within that. And the Paracletiki is part of that as well. And so these hymns, these model hymns, are the ones that we sing every single week. So the resurrectional hymn of each week, these were composed by St. Joseph. And so it's very, very important that we understand that St. Joseph the Hymnographer wrote the majority of the common prayers that we say continuously. The canons of the Manaean, which are the days of the week, as in, for example, today, April 3rd, are his work as well. So he wrote all of these works on the saints. So he wrote about the saints. He wrote songs about the saints. St. Joseph the Hymnographer wrote the majority of these things. So he created a lot of the skeletal work by which the other hymnographers fit in for our daily worship. We're going to skip over the prophet Isaiah, and we're going to go straight into Genesis 27. So last we checked in, we were at the sacrifice of Abraham and his son Isaac. Now we are going to skip ahead, where we are now with Isaac, who has his 2 sons, Esau and Jacob. Now, to understand this a little bit, Isaac favors Esau. Esau is the older. He loves him. He wants Esau to receive his blessing. However, Esau is not the one that God wants to receive the blessing, or their mother. And the reason why this is important is because Esau comports with foreign religions, and so he is not faithful to God, the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac, whereas Jacob is. And this is one of the reasons why this is allowed to happen, because when we first read this passage that we're about to go over, it seems very, very underhanded. It seems this is wrong. This is a problem. Now, of course, we will see later that, well, not in this passage, of course, but later in Genesis, that Esau and Jacob will be reconciled. But this is the source of their bitterness. When Isaac was old and his eyes were dim so that he could not see, he called Esau his older son and said to him, "My son." And he said, "Here I am." He said, "Behold, I am old. I do not know the day of my death. Now then, take your weapons, your quiver and your bow, and go out to the field and hunt game for me, and prepare for me savory food such as I love, and bring it to me that I may eat, that I may bless you before I die." Now Rebekah was listening when Isaac spoke to his son Esau. When Esau went to the field to hunt for game and bring it, Rebekah said to her son Jacob, "I heard your father speak to your brother Esau. Bring me game and prepare for me savory food, that I may eat it and bless you before the Lord before I die. Now therefore, my son, obey my words as I command you. Go to the flock and fetch me 2 good kids, that I may prepare for them savory food for your father, such as he loves, and you shall bring it to your father to eat, so that he may bless you before he dies. But Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Behold, my brother Esau is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. Perhaps my father will feel me, and I shall seem to be mocking him, bring a curse upon myself, and not a blessing. His mother said to him, Upon me be your curse, my son, only obey my word and go, fetch them to me. So he went and took them and brought them to his mother, and his mother prepared savory food such as his father loved. Then Rebekah took the best garments of Esau her older son, which were in her house, and put them on Jacob her younger son, and the skins of the kids she put on his hands and upon the smooth parts of his neck. So she gave the savory food and the bread, which she had prepared, into the hands of her son Jacob. So he went to his father and said, My father. He said, Here I am. Who are you, my son? Jacob said to his father, I am Esau, your firstborn. I have done as you told me. Now sit up and eat of my game, that you may bless me. But Isaac said to his son, How is it that you have found it so quickly, my son? He answered, Because the Lord your God granted me success. Then Isaac said to Jacob, Come near, that I may feel you, my son, to know whether you are really my son Esau or not. So Jacob went near to Isaac his father, who felt him and said, The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are of Esau. And he did not recognize him, because his hands were hairy like his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. He said, Are you really my son Esau? He answered him, I am. Then he said, Bring it to me, that I may eat of my son's game and bless you. So he brought it to him, and he ate. And he brought him wine, and he drank. Then his father Isaac said to him, Come near and kiss me, my son. So he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his garments and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is the smell of a field which the Lord has blessed. May God give you of the dew of heaven, and of the fatness of the earth, and plenty of grain and wine. The people serve you, and nations bow down to you. Be Lord over your brothers, and may your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be everyone who curses you, and blessed be everyone who blesses you. As soon as Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, when Jacob had scarcely gone from the presence of Isaac his father, Esau his brother came in from his hunting. He also prepared savory food and brought it to his father. And he said to his father, Let my father arise and eat of his son's game, that you may bless me. His father Isaac said to him, Who are you? He answered, I am your son, your firstborn Esau. Then Isaac trembled violently and said, Who was it then that hunted game and brought it to me? And I ate it all before you came, and I have blessed him. Yes, and he shall be blessed. When Esau heard the words of his father, he cried out with an exceedingly great and bitter cry, and said to his father, Bless me, even me so. Bless me also, O my father. But he said, Your brother came with guile, and he has taken away your blessing. Esau said, Is he not rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. This because as Esau was going to be first, Jacob took his foot and pulled him back so that he was born first. For he supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright. Behold, now he has taken away my blessing. Then he said, Have you not reserved a blessing for me? Isaac answered Esau, Behold, I have made him your lord, and all his brothers I have given to him for servants. With grain and wine I have sustained him. What then can I do for you, my son? Esau said to his father, Have you but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Then Isaac his father answered him, Behold, away from the fatness of the earth shall your dwelling be, and away from the dew of heaven on high. By your sword you shall live, and you shall serve your brother. But when you break loose, you shall break his yoke from your neck. Now Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing which his father had blessed him. And Esau said to himself, The days of mourning for my father are approaching. Then I will kill my brother Jacob. Now, the issue with this is that they're looking at the blessing that their father Isaac is giving them as almost like a mystical blessing, without realizing that it's not so much something that Isaac is able to give himself as much as it is God's blessing to give to whom he wills. And he gives it to Jacob, who will be called Israel. He's called Israel right before he goes and meets his brother Esau in the field, because he follows after him. It's not just because he received the physical blessing of Isaac. So let us conclude with Proverbs. He who keeps the commandments keeps his life. He who despises the word will die. He who is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will repay him for his deed. Discipline your son while there is hope. Do not set your heart on his destruction. A man of great wrath will pay the penalty. For if you deliver him, you will only have to do it again. Listen to advice and accept instruction, that you may gain wisdom for the future. Many are the plans in the mind of a man, but it is the purpose of the Lord that will be established. What is desired in a man is loyalty, and a poor man is better than a liar. The fear of the Lord leads to life, and he who has it rests satisfied. He will not be visited by harm. The sluggard buries his hand in the dish, and will not even bring it back to his mouth. Strike a scoffer, and the simple will learn prudence. Reprove a man of understanding, and he will gain knowledge. I hope that you've enjoyed today's spiritual calisthenics. Have a blessed and wonderful day.